do their own thing. Like, well, we should speak Spanish. I got into an argument with a lady on a CTA Sunday. She was from Puerto Rico, and I said, "Was Puerto Rico so great? Why don't you go back?" Hey, oops, did I? But I was saying this stuff. I was Donald Trump 30 years ago. Donald Trump is the white Charles Butler. Anybody who listened to me will tell you that. You know. Go ahead. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Right. 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 Well, what's amazing to me, and I had to address this, and I address it every time I see it, is to see a young black man or middle aged black man walking to a nice restaurant. We have a great restaurant here called Gibson's, and it's a restaurant where on any given night you may see an actress, an actor, or an athlete, pro athlete, on any given night in the place, right? So one night I'm sitting in Gibson's with some friends, and this black guy comes in with several people, and his pants are below his glutes. His pants are below his glutes, so all that's showing is his underwear, and his pants are strapped on beneath his glutes. And so this young lady I was with, she looked at me. She said, "Charles, don't. Charles, don't. Charles." And by that time, I got up and I walked over to the young man, and I said, "Excuse me, young man." I said, "But do you think that Dr. King marched so that you could come into this nice restaurant showing the crack of your ass?" And now I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready to fight, David. You have to understand. I am. If this guy says anything other than what I expected to hear from him, I was going to take him out. Okay. So he says, you're right, sir. You're absolutely right. He got up and they all walked out. The maitre d' walked over to me and said, "Dinner's on me." He said, I couldn't do that. He said, "I couldn't do that because it's a lawsuit. I'm discriminating." I said, "Yeah, but you have to have a dress code, man. You can't come in here. A woman couldn't come in here in her panties. Why is this guy coming in showing in his underwear? I mean, really, because he's in his underwear." And true, true. The only one I'm concerned about is adultery. I'm not going to deal with. I'm not going. I'm not going to deal with that. I'm not killing anybody. I just don't want to commit adultery. Okay, that's closer to me than any of them. Okay, because these women aren't telling today. It's like, oh well, it was nice spending the night with you, but I have to get home to my husband. You what? Man, it's a. Well, I got divorced a couple of years ago. Well, it'd be a couple of years ago in December. And I tell you, man, I love it out here. This is not the. This is not. It's yeah, it is. I mean, and when you meet somebody, They expect you to hook up with them. I'm like, well, I don't know where your lips been. I don't know where your hand. I don't know anything about you, lady. That's what I'm saying to myself, right? But so the decision has to become. See, I got to develop a test, man. I got to develop a test that will test for all of these things, like with a finger prick. Who's the girl who got caught up? She's getting ready to go to trial next year for the blood pricking thing. What was that company? You know who I'm talking about? She was out in Silicon. It was called Advent or something like that. What was her name? Her name was Howard, wasn't it? Anyway, I'll come up with it in a second. Um, but she had this blood test thing. They did a great TV show on her, by the way. But anyway, the reason, David, that I talk about, and I'm glad to have you on talking about this topic, is I say that these shooters that we have, these young shooters that we've had in these mass shootings. Elizabeth Holmes was the woman we were thinking about, and her company was called Theranos. Theranos, remember? Yeah. So this is the thing that all of these mass shooters have in common. Now this may change today because some black guy may go out and do some mass shooting, but for right now, it's all white males between 18 and 35. They're on psychotropic drugs. They have access to good weapons. These aren't Saturday night specials these kids are shooting. They have no girlfriend, which means no sex. And they all do shootings in gun free zones. David, David, all gun, those are the things that I think these guys all have in common. And if you look at a number of them, like the shooting at Sandy Hook, this guy's mother taught him to shoot. He was a weirdo, and she taught him to shoot, took him to gun classes, thinking that somehow this would make him more normal. How crazy was that? She was the first one he shot. Yep. 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 Yeah, but a lot of times people don't want to get involved. They'll say, well, we didn't want to get involved because you know we we didn't want to tell the police officers. We didn't want to get Johnny in trouble. See, and my thing is, I'm telling, I'm telling on everybody. Okay, if I have a family member that threatens me, I'm telling. Okay, but it's one of I have a yeah, but why would you take a kid who has mental issues and teach him how to shoot a gun? I don't think that would be the right thing to do. And that's what she did. but they don't want to admit that they created this failure. They don't want to admit that they created what is soon to become a monster. See, that's the other thing that you're dealing with. You know, you look at some of these parents, I look at some of these parents today, and I'm not trying to be uh, critical. I'm not trying to be harsh. I'm not trying to be unreasonable. But I tell you this, David, I see too many children and too many young people that have been kept alive solely because of the miracle of modern medicine. You understand what I'm saying? You have individuals, we have individuals, we have individuals who will never be able to take care of themselves. They will never be productive citizens. They will always be they will always be the responsibility of their parents or a ward of the state because they can't do anything but breathe and eat and defecate. That's it. That's it. They have no other functions that they're really contributing. It's like, remember when they tried to keep this woman alive on life support? She had no brain function, and they could keep her alive forever. You know, they could have kept her alive for another 10 years. But she had no brain wave. No, she was dead technically. And the guy said, "Let my wife go. Just let her go." And the parents, "Oh no, she's we have to keep her." And they launched a whole national campaign to keep this dead woman who was on life support, just breathing and being fed through a tube. That somehow we need to keep her alive. We need to keep her breathing. It's crazy. And I see a lot of parents. You know, I think it bored. I think that we have allowed modern medicine to border on Frankensteinish exploits. And what do I mean by that? Just what I just said. You know, there are young people, there are babies, there are young people who just. What about the two girls that they had one? They have two heads and one body. You seen that? That used to be a freak show, man. That used to be a freak show. And these people, I mean, it's totally crazy. Totally crazy. Now, could you, you know, I tell you, as you know, I know you put a lot of time and thought into your article. I can tell that, and it's some things that had been bothering you or on your mind for a while, and you seem to have gotten them out here. But one of the things that I noticed that I looked through the article a couple of times, I did not see, and that you did not note, and that was that Charles Whitman was a United States Marine. Yeah, but the JFK killer, yeah, but the JFK killer, David, he could not have administered that shot that sent Kennedy's head backwards. I'm sorry. Yeah, and no, no, I mean, conspiracy or not, that was that was a raggedy ass gun to make a headshot with a gun like that. I mean, really? You know, it was a raggedy gun. I could see it if it was exactly. Hey, you getting the point. You getting the point. I mean, and the car is moving, and the car is moving. Come on. I mean, you know, if the guy didn't have a scope and a stand, I think that shot is just impossible to make. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You got to have a scope, and you got to have a scope and a stand to study that bullet going down range. And I've been there. I've been there to the plaza, and it's not that great a distance, but it's enough distance. But anyway, I tell you, you know, I mean, things happen to people who who are doing the right thing, and that's why I think they don't talk about the security increase around Donald Trump because Donald Trump has enemies both inside the government and outside of the government, as well as foreign enemies. But what about his family? What about his family? His family, his family is exposed to this craziness. Is exposed to these loons. Here in Chicago, in Illinois, in the state of Illinois, it's it's battery to spit on someone. And I saw a young lady who was trying to get into an arena where Trump was speaking. They spit on her, they threw rocks at her, and the police sat there on their horses and laughed. Who could do that? Who could? Well, I'll tell you one thing, David. If I'm ever assaulted by some what do you call those Antifa people? It's not going to be very pretty, and I'm going to take and you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take their little head scarves or whatever you call it as trophies, like when you scalp someone. And, I'm serious. Exactly. But this is see, as I said before, Trump is the white Charles Butler. I said after the inaugural, when these people were setting cars on fire, knocking out office windows, uh, attacking people who had on mega hats, I said they're a terrorist organization. I said if they were black, they would have been shot in the streets. So somebody tried to say, well, they are black. And I'm like, oh, hell no, they're not black. These aren't black people who are in Antifa. And see, that's the problem. That see the exactly. So when I one of the things that I've always said, and that has always been true for me, is the the anti-war movement, for instance. I could never rally to the anti-war movement because these hippies, they were just so violent. So when the people were shot at Kent State, people said, "Well, why did they shoot these protesters? Because they were violent. They were attacking the police. They were attacking soldiers, and there's plenty of footage out there. Look at the DNC here in '68. If that had been black protesters, people would have been shot dead in the streets, man. You remember? I don't know if you remember the '68 DNC, but I remember it like it was yesterday. Yeah, I was a little older than that. Yeah, well, you can hide under the desk. We used to say we were kids. We say hide. They'd say duck and cover. We say duck, cover, and kiss your ass goodbye. Because we would ask our teachers. We asked our teachers, well, how is getting under the desk going to save us from the atomic bomb and what happened in Hiroshima? Because I mean, in '62, I was 10 years old. That was the missile crisis was '62, right? October '62. We did it. I remember we did it in a few times, but finally people concluded that ducking and cover was not going to save your butt. Yeah, yeah. So I mean, yeah, duck, cover, and kiss. Our joke was duck, cover, and kiss your black ass goodbye. So that was that was we were boys. We're 10 years old. We thought that was hot stuff. The teachers get all serious. They come on. They have a little air raid alarm. Okay, kids, Put your books away, duck and cover. And somebody would yell, and kiss your ass goodbye. So, and we'd all giggle, hey, he, he. Yeah. But I mean, that's what America was about. I mean, that's the most that anybody would do. Today, you have these kids who are bringing guns to school. I mean, really? I mean, my parents had guns at home. I never thought about going in, touching their guns or picking up their guns or playing with their guns. Never thought about it. Not one day. Uh, mhm. Guess what? Hey, guess what? And no lock on the gun. Oh, no question. Hey, wait a minute. Wait. That's without question. Why would you have a gun in your car and it not be loaded? Well, see, yeah, and I always say to people who talk about guns and they don't know anything about guns. Like I had a guy tell me 2 Sundays ago. He said, "Well, Charles, we're going to have to do something about these guns, and we need to start with background checks." I said, "Well, we have background checks." Well, I said, "So if I pass my gun to my son, they're telling me that I need to have a background check because I'm passing a gun." I said, "How stupid is that?" I said, "Besides that, it impacts poor people." I said, "That's another onerous fee that someone has to pay." I said, "People act like background checks are free. They're not free. You have to pay for them." You know, well, that's why President Trump said, "I'm going to step back and take a closer look at this," because everybody's pushing him to act. Act on what? It's like impeaching the president. Impeaching for what? Show me the laws that he's broken. Well, well, as most things done by these folks, the guy who started showing his tax returns was Nixon, and I have no idea why Nixon showed his tax returns. Absolutely none. But Nixon, no, 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 no. In 68, he showed his tax returns when he was running. That's the first time he showed. That's what they use. In 68, he showed his tax returns. Okay. Hmm. Okay. Hmm. Hmm. No. Well, that's why when Mitt Romney filed his tax returns, I thought that was so funny, because and Barack Obama filed his tax returns. Mitt Romney gave away 30% of his income to charity. Barack Obama gave away 1%, and Michelle. So so a guy a guy who's making, let's just say, let's just use Barack's salary, $450,000. He gave away a post. And Mitt Romney, they're talking about Mitt Romney and all these horrible things Mitt Romney is. The guy gives away 30% of his income. Hello. To charity, not to his children, to charity. Okay. Amazing. It's amazing, but you can't. At the end of the day, you look at these people, and you listen to these people, and uh, the sad thing is that American people listen to them. And I was telling you this story about when we were talking about gun control. This guy says to me, "Well, we need to have these changes," and I said, I don't think we need any more changes. I don't think any more laws. And I said, what we need to do is to put people who are exhibiting uh, uh, um, thoughts of killing people and things like that. We need to put them on, psychological watches, and maybe go in and take their guns away. But I said, I'm not giving up my damn gun or guns. So he says, um, well, what about an AK-47? Why would anybody need an AK-47? Why would we need assault weapons on the street? I said, well, if you knew anything about guns, you know that the AK-47 that most people, that 99.9% of the people have out here, is not an AK-47 for real. It's a replica. And an AR-15 is not an assault rifle. It's like a 22. You would not go into combat with an AR-15. And the guy looks at me and he goes, "Well, that's not true. I do know something about guns. I qualified as an expert in ROTC." I said, "Okay." I started laughing. Right? I said, "Well, that would be the equivalent of comparing a heart surgeon to a eighth grader dissecting a frog's heart." Comparing the military to ROTC. Well, 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 David. Yeah, it is, let me just say this. To a point that you made, we would not have equal footing going up against the military in terms of firepower. An M16 or an M4 or any of those other automatic weapons that they have, it make you want to holler. And what people really don't understand, because most people when they go to a range, gun range, they have on earmuffs. So they don't really get the full impact of the noise and the noise level, you know, of firing a gun. So it's a it's a whole different world, dude, when you got live fire, no earmuffs, and you're out there. Talk about is they want to end the killing sprees here in Chicago out and kill the people who are doing the killing. Don't wait on them to kill someone. Identify them and execute them. We know who they are, just like you would ISIS or the Taliban or any other terrorist organization. They call me a little passionate. Yeah, well, they call me a yeah. It, it's interesting. Well, it has been. You got to come back again soon. Tell Joshua that let's book you because this was fun. We'll do this, and don't forget to tell us where we can get your book. Where is this? The deep discount? Defiance Press. Hey man, it was a blast being with you. We'll do it again, okay? You too. All right, thank you. Bye bye. That's Mr. David Thomas Roberts. He's doing his interviews, making his rounds today. We got a little time left. Enjoyed talking to him. We got about 4 minutes left. So what am I going to do with these 4 minutes that we have left? Well, I'm going to talk about. Oh man, I'm going to talk about Joe Biden. Joe Biden is out to get the black vote. That's not going to happen. I know you guys are saying, well, Charles, you're predicting that Biden's not going to get. No, people see right through Biden, just like they saw through Barack Obama. Barack Obama would not get the black vote today. I know people say they voted for Barack because he was black. I don't play that black stuff. I didn't vote for him. I didn't vote for him when he was my state senator. I didn't vote for him when he was my U.S. senator. And I certainly did not vote for him for president of the United States of America. So, but here in Illinois, my vote really doesn't matter because, it's It's red and the state's blue. And it's really interesting when you look at this red blue thing because in Europe, the liberals are red, red like red liberals, socialists, liberals, and the conservatives are blue. Interesting how we kind of twist those things here in America. I call it the misinformation of Americans in America. But no, Joe Biden is going to have a tough time securing the black vote. His record on civil rights is, like the rest of the Democrats, spotty at best. But they say that Biden holds a 20-point lead with black folks. That's the black folks that are voting. That's just like, there's not going to be a lot of folks voting in this race. I'm telling you, and you're going to see a lot of black folks voting for Donald J. Trump. What can you say? You think about it, you reflect on it, and you go, why vote for Biden? Why would I vote for Joe Biden? What did Joe Biden ever do for blacks? He certainly castigated Anita Hill. He didn't give her much support. But one of the reasons that he did not was because what's her name? Lillian McGuinn was his chief of staff, was his general counsel. Lillian McGuinn was the light-skinned white woman who was dating Clarence Thomas. Yes. Just saying. Just saying. Woo, boy, it's hot out here. It's hot in here. Somebody needs to turn on the air conditioner. Is it just me getting warmed up? Because we got to go, folks. See you tomorrow, same time, same place. Red State Talk Radio, Charles Butler, signing out. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. I'm a soul man. Yeah, we're just playing a little soul man music. Boom. See you tomorrow. See you tomorrow, same time, same place. Right here on Red State Talk Radio or iHeart. Take care, folks. Shoot. Okay. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. We're out. Come back tomorrow. See you then. Thank you. Take care. End stream. There we go. Oh, man. Okay.